All right, hey everyone, and welcome back to another deep dive. Today we're going to be tackling meme coins and how they're shaping up in 2025. You guys gave us some pretty interesting sources to dig into for this one. Got an article pumping up meme coins is the next big thing, a report from Reuters about Brazil's crypto imports going through the roof, and just for fun, a Forbes piece about the latest Windows update wreaking havoc.
It's kind of crazy how even now a simple software update can still turn the tech world upside down, right? It really does feel like those early days of crypto where anything felt possible.
For sure. And speaking of the Wild West of crypto, let's jump into that article about the top trending meme coins. They're making some bold predictions, like OneCoin, XYZ, it's a sports-themed one, supposed to explode by like 7,400%.
Yeah.
They're saying it'll leave competitors like Bomb A and Wife in the dust during this 2025 bull run.
7,400%. Now, that would be a massive shift. Of course, the article does say right up front it's not financial advice, but gotta wonder what's making them so optimistic.
Well, they're really pushing this whole GameFi thing. Apparently, XYZ has a whole ecosystem they call XYZ-verse, where it combines sports fandom and crypto. It almost sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, I see what they're doing there. GameFi, in case you haven't heard of it, is basically like gaming meets decentralized finance. It's been getting more popular, and XYZverse, it looks like they're trying to jump on that by making a platform where fans can engage with their favorite sports, but through crypto. Think like fantasy sports, but you could actually earn crypto. It's clever, for sure, but will it actually lead to those kind of returns? Who knows?
So it's like they're trying to capture that meme coin hype and the whole community thing, but with like a real use case this time. But I mean, how realistic is 7,400%?
Well, got to remember, meme coins are super volatile. They're often driven by hype and speculation. So while huge growth is possible, you could just as easily see a massive crash. What's interesting here is that they're trying to build a more sustainable ecosystem around XYZ. The article even compares it to, remember, Polymarket, all that trading during the U.S. elections. But this time with the GameFi element added.
Right, like they're hitting multiple trends at once. But you mentioned volatility, and that brings us to the OG meme coin, Dogecoin. The article mentions it's down like 21.78% in the past month, but over 6 months, up over 200%.
Dogecoin is the perfect example of how wild this market can be. Up, down, it's all over the place. The thing is, with meme coins, emotion and community sentiment play a much bigger role than, traditional market stuff.
So how do we even begin to understand all those technical indicators they keep throwing around? RSI, stochastic oscillator, MCD8. Sounds super complicated.
I know, right? They can seem intimidating, but let me try to break it down. Think of RSI, that's relative strength index, like a mood ring for a coin. Dogecoin's RSI is sitting around 27.94 right now, so might be feeling a little down, maybe even oversold.
Oversold, so like that means it could be a good time to buy.
It's possible, but no guarantees, of course. It basically means the price has dropped a lot, and some traders might see that as a good deal. Now, the stochastic oscillator, that's more like a speedometer, looking at recent price ranges. It's at 12.82 for Dogecoin currently, which, together with that RSI, adds to that oversold feeling. And then there's the MACD, that's moving average convergence divergence, helps spot trends and potential reversals. Dogecoin's is negative, but just barely.
So altogether, are these indicators saying Dogecoin's about to make a comeback?
They're hinting at it, yeah. The article also talks about support and resistance levels, basically price points where a coin tends to stall out or reverse. Dogecoin's resistance is at about $0.46, support's down at $0.27. Think of them as psychological barriers. Traders use these to try and guess where the price might go next.
Like a whole strategy game, reading the signals, predicting the next move.
Exactly. But remember, these indicators are just tools. They don't guarantee anything.
Right, okay. What about those other meme coins from the article, Pepe, Bonk, and Eflokai? They've all been going up and down too, right?
Totally. Pepe is up 97.01% over 6 months, Bonk 21.28%, and Eflokai 14.86%. But just like Dogecoin, they've all dipped recently.
Wow, those are still some big numbers. But I guess what happened in the past doesn't mean that'll keep happening, right?
That's a super important point, especially with these meme coins.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else interesting from the article about these three?
Well, Pepe, similar to Dogecoin, looks kind of oversold based on its RSI and stochastic numbers. Worth keeping an eye on. Bonk, though, that one's sending mixed signals. Its technical indicators say it's oversold, but its moving averages, which, track the price over time, they're leaning towards a downtrend, at least in the short term. And Eflokai, That one's a bit of a mystery, too. Its RSI and stochastic oscillator are hinting at a rebound, but the MACD is negative, so could keep going down.
So it's a real mix, huh? Sounds like predicting these meme coins is anyone's guess.
That's the thing about them, and that's why really got to do your research and know the risks before you jump in.
Great advice. Now let's switch gears from the unpredictable world of meme coins to Brazil. They've got this whole surge in crypto imports happening.
Yeah, it's quite a surge. Brazil's net crypto imports have gone up a crazy 60.7% in just the first 9 months of 2024, already more than all of 2023. Seems like Brazilians are going all in on crypto.
That's huge. And the article said a lot of these are stablecoins. Why the sudden interest in stablecoins down in Brazil?
Well, stablecoins are designed to, be pegged to a stable asset like the US dollar.
Yeah.
Makes them less volatile than, say, Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. Can be appealing if you want a more predictable way to get into crypto.
So a more stable entry point. But why specifically Brazil?
Well, Brazil's been dealing with some rough inflation and currency volatility. Stablecoins, being tied to the US dollar, offer a way to hedge against that, protect their savings from their own currency going up and down.
Makes sense. But the article did mention some worries from Brazil's central bank, something about potential misuse.
Yeah, they're concerned about stablecoins being used for, tax evasion and illegal stuff. They're planning to introduce regulations in 2025 to deal with those concerns.
It's like crypto's evolving so fast, it's always putting regulators in catch-up mode.
Definitely a challenge all over the world. Now, before we move on from crypto completely, any final thoughts about meme coins? I think it's important to repeat, anyone thinking about investing in meme coins, you've got to do your homework. Research is key.
Don't just jump in because everyone else is.
Exactly. Understand the risks, the volatility, the lack of regulation, and the potential for scams. It's kind of like that Windows update we talked about earlier. Even established tech can have unexpected problems, and the crypto world's no different.
Speaking of which, let's talk about that Windows update mess. Sounds like a real pain for users.
Oh, it has been. Microsoft released their first Windows 11 patch of 2025, and it's full of bugs and compatibility problems.
Like what kind of problems?
We're talking headphones and webcams failing, issues with USB decks, Bluetooth headsets cutting out, even YouTube videos won't play. It's a real mess.
Sounds awful. Anything people can do if they're having these problems.
Sadly, the only workaround right now is to uninstall the update and pause Windows Update until Microsoft fixes it.
Hopefully they'll get on that quickly.
Oh, too.
Makes you wonder, though, are these kinds of problems just inevitable with these huge tech updates?
It does happen a lot. Making and releasing software updates to the whole world is complicated. Things can go wrong.
Okay, so we've covered meme coins, Brazil's crypto boom, and even a Windows update disaster. What's our last stop on this deep dive?
Let's talk about Elon Musk and his platform X, the one that used to be Twitter. Seems to be facing some big financial hurdles.
Right, I was reading about that in the Economic Times. User growth is flat, revenue's weak, and even Musk admitted they're barely breaking even. Pretty different from his early predictions of, rapid growth and profits.
Yeah, his early optimism was, very ambitious. But you got to remember, he bought Twitter in a leveraged buyout, took on a massive $13 billion debt. That's a lot of financial weight from the get-go.
And then all the changes he made, some didn't go over well. Probably hurt ad revenue, too.
Definitely. The platform changes, plus the whole economic situation. It's all played a part in X's financial struggles.
So is it safe to say Musk's big X experiment is failing?
Too soon to say for sure. Wall Street banks are seeing X in a better place now, and they're getting ready to sell their debt holdings. That means there's still some faith in the platform's potential.
A little bit of hope, then.
It seems so. It'll be really interesting to see how it all plays out. Will Musk's vision for X win out, or will it get crushed by the debt and the constant changes in social media? We'll have to wait and see.
Very true. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the excitement of meme coins to the complexities of Brazil's crypto market, and even the challenges faced by big players like Microsoft and Elon Musk's X.
Yeah, it's been a real journey through the world of tech and finance, all changing so fast.
And speaking of journeys, I think it's time to wrap up this part of our deep dive with a final thought for you all listening.
I like where you're going with this. Let's give them something to think about.
Okay, so everyone listening, here's something to consider. Will meme coins keep riding this wave of hype and speculation, or will they just fade away? Could a meme coin like XYZ actually become the next big thing in crypto?
That's a great question to leave our audience with. There's so much potential here, but so much uncertainty too. It reminds us that we're all exploring uncharted territory.
And that's what makes it so exciting. Remember, everyone, The best way to stay ahead is to do your research, stay informed, and never stop learning.
Couldn't agree more. Thinking critically is so important, especially with so much information coming at us all the time.
Absolutely. So until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep into this amazing world around us.
And don't be afraid to challenge what you think you know. Explore different viewpoints.
You got it. That's what the deep dive is all about.
So well said. It's all about embracing that sense of curiosity and wonder.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe one of you listening will be the next meme coin millionaire or tech genius.
The possibilities are endless if you're willing to dive in and explore.
All right, everyone, that's a wrap on part 1 of our deep dive into meme coins, the crypto market, and the latest in tech.
It's been great exploring all this with you.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep on learning.
You know, it's really kind of amazing how connected everything is these days, huh?
It is, isn't it? It's like, who would thought a Windows update could have us talking about, like, the whole future of money? But that's the deep dive for never know where we'll end up.
Exactly. And speaking of unexpected turns, I'm kind of curious to go back to Brazil for a sec. That whole stablecoin surge, that's got to be a sign of the times, right? But what does it mean for the bigger picture, I wonder?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. The article mentioned that Brazil's central bank, they're planning to, like, bring them rules for stablecoins this year. What are they hoping to do with that?
Well, it seems like they're mostly worried about, stablecoins being used for shady stuff, tax evasion, that kind of thing. It's a tough balance, though, right? On the one hand, there's so much potential for, financial innovation, especially for people who traditional banks don't really serve well. But then, of course, there's always the risk of people using it for bad stuff.
It's this constant push and pull between, like, progress and control.
Yeah.
I guess that's the challenge with any new tech, finding that sweet spot between letting it grow and keeping people safe.
You got it. And it'll be interesting to see how Brazil handles this whole stablecoin regulation thing. Could be a model for other countries trying to figure out the same stuff.
Right, because this isn't just happening in Brazil. Stablecoins are getting popular all over the place.
Exactly. And that brings us back to meme coins, right? Where do they fit into all of this? I think they have a chance to be more than just a passing fad.
That's a tough one. On the one hand, there's all this hype around meme coins, this crazy community energy. People love how easy they are to get into, the humor, and of course, the potential to make a ton of money. But then there's the volatility, the lack of regulation, the risk of rug pulls and scams,
Yeah, it's high risk, high reward. Really comes down to how much risk you're comfortable with and what your goals are. If you're just looking for a quick gamble, meme coins might seem tempting. But if you want something stable and secure for the long haul, probably not the best choice.
Sounds like the future of meme coins is pretty uncertain. Hard to say if they'll fizzle out or become a bigger part of the whole crypto world.
Yeah, it's true. And that unpredictability, it's exciting, but also kind of scary. It's like we're all on this crazy ride together, just watching the crypto world change right in front of us.
It really does feel like that sometimes. Okay, but shall we get too lost in the future of money? I want to circle back to that Windows update mess for a minute. It's a good reminder that even with all this fancy tech, things can go wrong fast.
Yeah, pretty humbling, isn't it? You'd think by now, 2025, we'd have software updates figured out, but nope, still plenty of room for mistakes.
What I thought was interesting was that even with all the problems, people still want to update their computers. It's like we're hardwired to want the newest thing, even if it means some bumps along the way.
I think you're onto something there. Shows how curious we are, how much we want the new and improved version, even if it comes with some glitches.
Yeah, it's like this constant struggle between wanting the latest and greatest, but also being afraid of what might go wrong.
I think that struggle is just part of being human, especially when it comes to technology. We're always pushing the limits, trying new things, and sometimes we mess up. But that's how we learn, right?
For sure. Okay, well, that brings us to our last stop for today's deep dive, Elon Musk and his platform, X.
Ah, yes. Elon Musk, the ultimate disruptor. Seems like his big plans for X are hitting some rough air.
Rough air is putting it mildly. User growth has basically stopped, revenues way lower than expected, and Musk even said the company's barely breaking even. Not exactly what he predicted. Remember all that talk about fast growth and big profits?
Yeah, his initial optimism was, well, let's just say it was typical Elon, but gotta remember the situation. He bought Twitter using a ton of borrowed money, ended up with $13 billion in debt. That's a huge financial burden from the start.
And then on top of that, he made all those changes. Some of them people really didn't like.
Yeah.
Probably hurt their ad revenue too.
Definitely. The platform changes, plus the whole economic climate, it's all had an impact on X's finances.
So is it fair to say Musk's big X experiment is a failure?
I don't think we can say that for sure just yet. Wall Street seems to think X is in a better position now, and they're getting ready to sell off their debt. That's got to mean they see some potential there.
So there's still a chance, maybe.
It seems like it. It'll be really interesting to see what happens. Will Musk's vision for X actually work, or will it crumble under the debt and all the constant changes in the social media world? Only time will tell.
Yeah, only time will tell. Well, on that note of suspense, I think it's time for a quick break. But don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll be wrapping up this epic deep dive with some final thoughts and a little challenge for all you amazing listeners out there. All right, and we're back for the final stretch of this deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground today: meme coins, Brazil's crypto explosion, even that whole Windows update fiasco, and of course, Elon Musk's wild ride with X. Phew, it's been quite a journey.
It really has. And, as we wrap this up, I keep thinking about how all these different topics, they're actually connected in some pretty interesting ways.
I see it too. It's like you've got meme coins riding that crypto hype wave, Brazil figuring out how to handle stable coins, Microsoft showing us that even the big guys can mess up, and Elon Musk, well, he's Elon Musk, always pushing the limits. It's like a snapshot of what's shaping the future of tech and finance, right?
Exactly. It all comes down to this constant theme of disruption, innovation, and a whole lot of uncertainty. Things are changing so fast, it's exciting, but also kind of scary,
Totally. Feels like every day there's some new headline about a crazy new technology or the market going haywire. It's enough to make your head spin.
That's why it's more important than ever to really stay informed, be critical thinkers, and approach all this new stuff with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Absolutely. Don't just buy into the hype or freak out when things get rough. Do your homework, question what you think you know, and form your own opinions.
Couldn't agree more. And that's what we're all about here on the Deep Dive, Ray. Helping you navigate this crazy, ever-changing world, giving you some context, some insights, and hopefully making it a little fun along the way.
You got it. We want to spark your curiosity, get you asking questions, and help you make smart decisions.
So as we sign off today, we want to leave you with a little challenge.
Oh, I love a good challenge. Hit me with it.
Think about everything we talked about today. Meme coins, stable coins, software updates, social media. What connections do you see? What patterns are emerging? What does it all tell us about what's coming next?
Those are some great questions. And we want all of you listening to really think about them, talk about them with your friends, and keep exploring this world with a curious and critical mind.
Because in this age of, constant change and disruption, the only thing that's for sure is that things are going to keep changing.
Well said. And on that note of wisdom, I think it's time to wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive.
It's been a blast diving deep with you all.
And remember, everyone, stay curious, stay informed, and keep on learning. We'll catch you next time.